Good day everyone, my name is Laika Tihilado and we are tasked to discuss to you the topic Guidelines in Handling Question Document Case from Examination to Presentation in Court and also the principal points of consideration. Let's tackle first the Guidelines in Handling Question Document Case. The first one is Care and Preservation of Evidence. So, this contains the proper care of handling evidence or the question document as evidence to be presented in court. Letter A is, question document should be enclosed in protective coverings. So, kapag yung question document natin na i-present natin as evidence is merong protective coverings, it can help to prevent contamination, alterations, and damage to the document itself. And also, letter B, avoid the marking of document at least in the area which is the subject of examination. So, we need to avoid unnecessary marks on the original document or the question document because it can affect the integrity of the evidence. Letter C is avoid soiling and exposure to foreign matters. So, dapat yung document meron siyang it only contains it must not be exposed to dust like that and unnecessary mga dumi dun sa may evidence because pwede niyang masira yung analysis na nagawa na dun sa question document na yon. Letter D is follow the procedure in the proper care and handling of question documents. So we need to follow the proper handling of evidence, gaya ng tamang paghandle ng evidence, tamang itago sa tamang lagayan, and I can also do some yung mga pag-avoid ng mga dumi or unnecessary writings, marks, or dust sa question document. It also includes the proper care or proper handling or the paglagay ng protective covering sa question document para pag ipe-present siya sa court is maayos at reliable or accurate yung mga yung analysis dun sa may document. Kasi kapag hindi natin sinusunod yung mga procedures ng tamang paghandle ng question document case is pwede siyang makasira sa analysis ng evidence na yon. And it can also ruin the integrity of the evidence or the document. Next is the observance of ethics. So, observance of ethics. In handling question document cases, we must observe the ethics like pagpapanatiling confidential yung document na yon or respect the document. We need to respect also the documents and we also need to be loyal or basta kailangan nating mag-ingat sa mga document na to, lalo na yung mga hindi naman dapat malaman ng ibang tao or the confidential. Dapat ma-preserve natin yung confidentiality ng isang document and also kung yung mga dapat na sabihin sa iba is sabihin, ganon. And kagaya ng natakal natin kanina is yung proper handling. Kailangan natin ng tratuhin ng maayos or itago or hawakan or kahit na anong gawin mo sa document ay dapat punong-puno ng pag-iingat. Kasi yun ay ini-examine kasi ang mga documents na yan. So, we need to handle it with care and preserve it also with care. So, that's all for the first and second guidelines in handling question document.
Number 3. As far as the conditions permit, a careful examiner will observe the following cautions. A. Avoid in giving an opinion being influenced in any way by those who present the problem. It says that you must be ensured that your opinion is not swayed by those presenting the problem, and stay objective and focus on the facts. B. Avoid, if possible, the bias that may come from hearing one-sided history of the case by not allowing the history to be related. You must avoid one-sided views. Try not to be influenced by a single perspective or biased history of the case, and look for a balanced understanding. C. Avoid the bias that may arise from being told or shown what to others appeared significant. Don't let others dictate what should be considered significant. Form your opinion based on your own analysis. D. Avoid being held into giving an unwilling or partial opinion. Refrain from giving unwilling or partial opinions. Be open-minded and consider all aspects before forming a conclusion. E. Avoid forming any definite opinion whatsoever from general appearance. Don't jump to conclusions based solely on appearances, and gather comprehensive information before forming a definite opinion. F. Avoid as far as possible being misled in any way by a first impression. Be cautious of forming opinion based solely on initial impressions, as they can be misleading. G. Avoid basing an opinion entirely upon system or nationality characteristics. Don't base your opinion solely on characteristics like system or nationality, and consider individual circumstances. H. Avoid influence on opinion of either friendship or of antipathy or any matter or influence of any kind outside the actual document itself. Avoid letting personal relationships, biases, or external influences impact your opinion, and stay focused on the facts presented. I. Avoid a hasty conclusion and especially refuse to give an offhand or sidewalk opinion. Take your time to analyze and avoid giving offhand or casual opinions. A thoughtful assessment is crucial. J. Avoid giving any opinion on inadequate standards prepared for the purpose, or standards that in any way are under suspicion. J. Avoid giving an opinion on inadequate standards prepared for the purpose or standard that in any way are under suspicion. Be wary of giving opinions based on inadequate or suspicious standards, and ensure that standards are reliable and relevant. K. Avoid giving an opinion on a disputed writing too limited in extent. Avoid giving opinions on topics or writings that are too limited or disputed without thorough understanding. L. Avoid, if possible, receiving information as to what other opinion have been given. Try not to be influenced by knowing others' opinions, as it can introduce bias into your assessment. M. Avoid as a rule the giving of an oral instead of a written report that later may be misinterpreted or exaggerated in a report to others. Prefer giving written reports over oral ones to prevent misinterpretation or exaggeration and communication to others. Class N. Avoid, if possible, an 11th hour examination with no time for review and re-examination. Whenever possible, avoid last-minute examinations without sufficient time for review and re-examination to ensure accuracy.
Number Number 4, question document should be examined first before the standard in exemplar. This means that before comparing a document to establish standard or exemplary example, it's important to truly analyze the document itself. By doing this, you gain a clear understanding of the document's content, context, and purpose independently. This approach helps ensure a more objective evaluation of the document quality and effectiveness. Number 5, conduct comparison. Conducting comparison involves assessing the document in relation to established standards or exemplary example. After truly examining the document independently, you compare it to this benchmark to evaluate its quality, effectiveness, and adherence. To best practice and comparison help identify strengths and areas for improvement, guiding efforts to enhance the document overall quality in alignment with recognized standard.
Trial of question document case. So, ang paghahandle ng isang kaso ng question document mula sa pagsusuri hanggang sa paglilitis sa korte ay sumusunod sa mga sumusunod na hakbang. Sample, pagsusuri ng dokumento. Ang isang examiner ay lubos na nag-aaral ng mga tanong na dokumento kasama ang sulat, kamay, lagda, at iba pang kaugnay na mga katangian. Next is, review the process of examination conducted on question document. Upang maipresenta ng malinaw ang mga pagkakaiba ng pagkakatulad o anumang pagbabago sa isang dokumento sa korte, mahalagang paghanda ng tamang mga malalaking litrato na sapat ang laki para mabasa at ma-scrutinize ng korte. Ang mga litratong ito ay dapat na malinaw at detalyadong upang maipakita ng maayos ang mga detalye na dokumento na may kaugnayan sa kaso. Prepare proper photographic enlargements in size which is adequate enough for the scrutiny of the court and the prosecution, leading to the clear presentation of difference, similarity, or any variation. Narito ang isang listahan ng mga autoridad at iba pang kilalang eksperto na maaring suportahan ang opinyon o conclusion sa pagsusuri na isinagawa. Ang mga sumusunod na autoridad at eksperto ay may malawak na kaalaman at kredibilidad sa kanilang mga larangan. Sample, si Dr. Juan de la Cruz, kilalang eksperto sa sulat, kamay at pagsusuri ng dokumento. Meron siyang malalim na kaalaman sa mga pamamaraan ng teknik ng pagsusuri ng mga tanong. Compile a list of authorities and other well-known experts along the points that will be support his opinion or conclusion on the examination made. Ang mga otoridad at eksperto na ito ay maaaring magbigay ng impormasyon at suporta sa opinyon o konklusyon sa pagsusuri na sinasagawa. Ang kanilang mga credential at mga karanasan sa kanilang mga larangan ay nagbibigay ng katibayan at kredibilidad sa kanilang mga opinyon. Mahalaga rin na suriin ang kanilang mga publikasyon, mga pag-aaral at mga karanasan sa mga kaso ng mga tanong na dokumento upang maipakita ang kanilang mga kakayahan at kaalaman sa larangan ito.
Okay. D. Initiate conference with the prosecutor or lawyer trying the case. So this is the question document case ay nagbibigay sa atin ng pagkakataon na talakayin ang mga mahalagang bagay tungkol sa legality at at evidence at magplano ng mga paraan sa paglilitis sa pamamagitan ng maayos na pakikipag-usap at kooperasyon. Maaari natin matulungan ng isa't isa upang magkaroon ng patas at makatarungang pagtutas sa kaso. So E, explain the prefer a list of qualification for opposing party or defense counsel. May question your credibility, ask question, document examiner. So, ang ibig sabihin nito is dapat kang maganda ng listahan ng yung mga qualification. Bilang isang question, document examiner. Ito ay para sagutin ng mga anumang mga question o pagdududa mula sa kabilang panig tungkol sa kakayahan at credibility mo. Siguraduhin mong malista mo yung education mo and experience at mga certification sa pamamagitan ng ganito paghahanda. Mas handa kang harapin ang mga potential na pagtatanong at maipakita ang credibility mo sa larangan ng pagsusuri sa dokumento. F, prepare for court testimony and cross-examination. Ito is ibig sabihin nito ay sabihin na dapat mong pag-aralan ng mabuti ang mga detalye ng iyong mga sasabihin sa korte at maging handa sa mga tanong na maaaring itanong sa iyo ng mga abogado sa kabilang panig.
Next topic is the principal points of consideration. So, according to Albert S. Osborne, the preliminary examinations always follows several principal points of consideration, but take note this is not applicable to any case. So these is the first is the signature is genuine is dapat tong mga to is mga principal points na dapat kino-consider when examining the documents. Kung genuine ba yung signature niya, kung yung signature niya ba is in natural position. Next is, are witnesses' signatures genuine and were they written in the other order they appear? In order ba yung mga pagsulat niya doon? Next is, does the signature touch the other writing and was the signature written last? Is the writing of the body of the document genuine? So this is the body or the main content are written in genuine or not. Next is any of the writing disguised or unnatural in any way? Kung yung writings niya ba is disguised or unnatural ba? Next is, are the standards submitted all genuine, consistent with themselves and of proper dates? Proper date, syempre diba, we tackled this last time that pag hindi niya na kayang magsulat is kuha tayo, nakilala natin kung man ang document na ng written document na sinulat niya 5 years ago. Tapos, kung consistent ba yung writings niya, yung handwriting niya. As next is, are they remains of pencil or carbon mark, which may have been an outline for the signature or of other writing. Kapag ito kasi natin na pag yung ginamit niya is pencil din yung ipapaano mo. Pag kung yung ginamit niya sa pag-outline ba is pencil or yung ginamitan niya ng carbon paper, ganon. Kapag lalo na pag nag-forge kasi ng mga question document case, kung ano yung ginamit ng mga ginagaya nila, like pencil, gagaya din nila with the use of pencil, ganyan. So next is the signature shown in embossed form on the back of the sheet, ganun, kung saan siya nakita, ganyan. Next is kung sa likod ba siya ng sheet. Tapos sheet guys. Tapos next is, was the document written before the paper was folded? So kung nauna niya bang sinulat yung yun sa document bago natupi yung document na yon.
Was the signature written before or after the paper was folded? For example, dito is usually dito is tinatanong, yung paper ba is nagkaroon na ng signature bago ito i-fold or hindi pa, or pinold mo na ito bago na din ang signature. How many times and in what way was the document folded? In-ask if kung ilang to fake ba or fold yung paper. Is there any significance in the design of the signature as indicating its date? Dito naman yung pagbabago ng signature. For example, di ba? Kumari, ako nagtatrabaho ko dati sa fast food chain. Basta sa kahit anong mga fast food. Yung firma ko dati is J, tapos Antonio lang. Then, after how many months or year, lumipat ako ng trabaho. Then, yung firma ko na is naging JB Antonio na. Was more than one kind of ink used in the preparation of the document. Dito naman inaas ba? Dito naman inaas if yung ginamit na tinta is lisa ba or meron pang iba. For example, di ba sa mga notes, kapag gumagawa tayo ng mga notes, yung title is yung ginagamit natin black. Then, pag minsan, yung mga meaning, ang pinagsusulat natin red or blue para alam natin kung yung ano, yung mga sa ganun. Is the current age of writing ink use consistent with the date of the document? Yung example dito, di ba? Sa mga birth certificate, ganun. Yung mga lumang document. Makikita mo naman pag legit kasi yung mga perma is parang tampered na or medyo blur. Tapos medyo matte na yung kulay. Then pagbago naman shiny, kaya dun pa lang makikita mo na kung legit na ano yung perma or fake. What kind of paper was used and does its size, shape, color, or consequence of any date or origin significance? Dito naman, kung ano yung types of paper na ginamit. If cotton ba, yellow pad, Oslo paper, ganun. Next, what is the watermark? Watermark, ito yung ginagamit ng iba para yung kumbaga ganito, di ba? Tapos makikita mo may background siya na light lang na watermark. Dun parang yun yung ano, palatandaan nila na sa kanila or sila yung gumawa. Are the several sheets of the documents exactly the same size, thickness, and color? Inaas naman dito if yung paper ba, kung how many page of paper ba yan, if same ba sila ng size, kung gaano kakapal yung quality or yung kulay. Does the paper ruling have any significance? Was the paper torn, burned, or mutilated in any way, and if so, for what purpose? Tinatanong dito kung yung papel ba ay may punit or may sunog, ganun. Basta mga mutilated na ano, sa purpose and kung saan ito ginagamit. Kung ano yung purpose.
Is the paper of unusual size? It is indented of any margin. Was it trimmed or cut by hand at any place? Unusual size, indentation, trimming. This question aims to determine if the paper size is abnormal, if there are any margin, and if it appears to have been trimmed or cut by hand, which could indicate tempering. Was the paper stapled or in otherwise fastened together more than once? Stapling or fastening, inquiring if the paper was stapled or fastened multiple times help assess if there were efforts to manipulate or alter the document. Is the paper unnecessarily soiled or crumpled? Soiling and crumpling, this question assesses if the paper is unnecessarily soiled and crumpled, which could indicate mishandling or intentional damage. Are there discoloration or stains on the paper, and if so, what probably caused them, and are they natural or artificial? This discoloration and stains, checking for discolorations or stains on the paper help identify potential cause, natural or artificial, and understand their implication for the document history and integrity. Thus, the documents contains abrasion, chemical or pencil erasure, alteration, or substitution of any kind. Abrasion, erasure, alteration. This question address sign of abrasion, chemical or pencil erasure, arbitration, absence, or substitution, which could suggest attempts to modify the document content. Thus, the documents show abrasion, erasure, or lack of continuity when viewed in transmitted light. Lack of continuity offset, examining if the document shows abrasion, erasure, or lack continuity when viewed at transmitted light help detect inconsistencies or anomalies. It is production. Are thus offset of ink writing from other sheets of paper. Offset of ink writing. This question investigate if there are offset of ink writing from other sheets which could indicate issues which the document reproduction of or handling. Was the document copied in wet copying press? Wet copying press waiting inquiring if the document was copied in a wet copying press or if it has been wet anyway help understand potential methods of reproduction or alteration. Has the document been wet? Have accidental pencil or other marks been made on the paper? Accidental mark. This question explore whether accidental pencil or other marks have been made on the paper which could affect its authenticity or reliability.
Typewritten, was it all prepared on the same machine? So, ang typewritten, ang dokumento ng ang tanong ay kung lahat ito ay ginawa gamit ang parehong makina. Ang pagsusulat ng mga typewritten na dokumento sa parehong makina ay maaaring maging isang punto ng interes sa mga pagsusuri ng mga dokumento, pagtukoy sa mga kasinungalingan at pagsusuri ng mga katangian ng mga ito. Next is, what kind of machine was used? So, ang uri ng makina na ginamit ay isang typewriter. Ang typewriter ay isang mechanical na aparato na ginagamit upang magsulat o mag-type ng mga dokumento. Ito ay binubuo ng mga mga buton na may mga karakter na nakaprint sa mga ito. Next is, what was each sheet written continuously at on time without being removed from the typewriter? So, sabi naman dito, ang bawat pahina ba ay isunulit ng tuloy-tuloy at hindi inaalis mula sa typewriter. Ang mga impormasyong ito ay hindi sapat upang matukoy kung ang bawat pahina ay sinulat ng tuloy-tuloy at hindi inaalis mula sa typewriter. Next is the history of the machine consistent with the date of the document? Ang kasaysayan ng makina ba ay tugma sa pitsa ng dokumento? Ang mga impormasyong ito ay hindi sapat upang matukoy kung ang kasaysayan ng makina ay tugma sa pitsa ng dokumento. Ang pagkakaroon ng impormasyon sa kasaysayan ng makina ay maaaring makatulong sa pagtukoy ng posibleng pitsa ng paggawa ng dokumento. Ngunit hindi ito garansya ng kahalintulad ng pitsa. Next is, are there added feature word, clauses, sentence, paragraph, or papers written on a different typewriter? So, ang clauses, sentence, paragraph, or papers, mayroon bang mga karagdagan, mga feature mga salita, mga clause, mga pangungusap, mga talata o mga papel na isinulat sa ibang typewriter. Ang mga impormasyong ito ay hindi sapat upang matukoy kung mayroong mga karagdagang mga feature, mga salita, mga clause, mga pangungusap, mga talata o mga papel na isinulat sa ibang typewriter. Next is the typewriter the work of a skilled operation? Oo, ang pagsusulat sa pamamagitan ng typewriter ay ang mundo ng isang bihasang operator. Ang mga bihasang operator ng typewriter ay may kakayahan na maayos at mabilis na gamitin ang typewriter. Sila ay nagmamay-ari ng kasanayan sa pagsusulat kabilang ang tamang pagkakakalagay ng daliri, bilis ng pagsusulat at kahusayan. Next is, are the indentation margins function in spacing uniform? Yes, the identification margins construction is in spacing in typewriter document are generally expected to be uniform. Skilled typists strives to maintain consistent and uniform identification margins construction and spacing throughout the document. Next is the typewriting the work of a skilled operator? Ang pagsusulat sa pamamagitan ng typewriter ng operator ay isang kasinungalingan na sinadyang isulat ang mga impormasyong ito ay hindi sapat upang matukoy kung ang pagsusulat sa pamamagitan ng typewriter ng operator ay isang kasinungalingan na sinadyang sinulat. Are the identification margins function and spacing uniform? Ang koneksyon ng page tulad ng pagsusulat ng wika at kalagayan ng pagkabuhay ay tugma ba sa ibang trabaho sa parehong makina, sa parehong pitsa? Ang mga impormasyong ito ay hindi sapat upang matukoy kung ang koneksyon ng page, pagsusulat ng wika at kalagayan ng pagkabuhay ay tugma sa ibang trabaho sa parehong makina, sa parehong pitsa. Are the indentation margins function in spacing uniform? Ang mga perforasyon ba ay tumutugma sa stub kung saan ito ay nakalinya? Ang pagkakabara ng papel, mayroon bang stub ang isang dokumento na patuloy o nag-overlap na watermark? Ang mga impormasyong ito ay hindi sapat upang matukoy kung ang mga perforasyon ay tumutugma sa stub o kung ang stub ng isang dokumento ay may patuloy o nag-overlap na watermark.
Okay? If document is carbon copy, does it confirm in size, position, and arrangement of matter with original letterhead? Kung ang dokumento ay isang carbon copy, mahalaga na ito ay pareho sa size, position, at ayos sa original na letterheads. Ito ay upang mapanatili ang integrity at credibility ng dokumento. Does printing or ruling on the document have any date or other significance? Ang pag-print o ruling sa dokumento ay maaaring magkaroon ng significant, lalo na kung may date o ibang marka sa panahon. Ito ay maaaring magbigay ng information tungkol sa date na ang paggawa ng dokumento ng anumang mga update o sa pagbabago ng nangyari after nito. So, if the document is a letter, thus postmark, postage stamp, cancellation stamp, or manner of selling and opening envelope or embossing on enclosure have any significant, kung ang dokumento ay isang letter, ang mga detalye tulad ng postmark, postage stamp, cancellation stamp, at iba pang marka sa envelope ay maaaring magkaroon ng kahalagaan sa pagtukoy ng date ng dokumento at sa pagsusubaybay sa mga process ng paghatid nito. Ang mga ito ay maaaring magturo kung kailan ito ipapadala o natanggap. What writing blood, and the use of a blatter indicate proper continuity or lack of continuity. Ang pagkakaroon ng sulat na punit o may mga blots ay maaaring mag-indicate ng hindi maayos na paggawa ng dokumento. Ang paggamit ng blatter ay maaaring magpaibatig ng pagkakaroon o maliit na pagkakamali sa paggawa ng letter. Are there indentations in the paper from handwriting or typewriting or sheet placed above the paper examined? Ang mga indentation sa paper with the letter o typewriting o mula sa paglagay ng isang sheet sa ibabaw ng paper ay maaaring magpaiwatig ng mga details tungkol sa paggawa o pagbabago ng dokumento. Ito ay maaaring magbigay ng insight sa proseso ng paggawa ng dokumento. Is the sequence of ink, writing, and pinholes, cancellation stamps, or punch holes consistent with the genius? Yes. Ang pagkakasunod ng mga marka tulad ng ink, writing, pinholes, cancellations, stamp o punch holes ay maaaring magpaiwatig ng katotohanan o hindi pagiging original dokumento. So, ang mga ito ay maaaring magturo ng kung ano ang nangyari sa dokumento matapos itong gawin. Is the rubber stamp impression, if any, made from genuine stamp? Mahalaga na ang rubber stamp impression ay gawa mula sa tunay na stamp upang mapatunayan ang katotohanan at integrity ng dokumento. Ang hindi tunay na stamp ay maaaring magduda sa credibility ng dokumento. So, 8. Do the eyelid pasteur perforation have any date significance? Ang mga details tulad ng eyelid pasteur at perforation ay maaaring magkaroon ng kahalagaan sa pagtukoy sa katotohanan o pagiging original na dokumento. Ito ay maaaring magbigay ng clue tungkol sa date o process ng paggawa ng dokumento. Is the attached seal of proper date or the seal impression made from genius and it is made in proper sequence? Ang date ng attached seal o ang paggawa ng seal impression mula sa tunay na seal ay maaaring magpatunay na sa credibility ng document at sa tamang pagkakasunod nito. Ito ay maaaring magbigay ng clue tungkol sa kung kailan ginawa o naisulat ang dokumento. Do names, streets, or event referred to in the document have any date or other significant bearing on the question of genuineness? Ang mga names, mga lugar, o mga pangyayari na tinutukoy sa dokumento ay maaaring magkaroon ng significant sa pagtukoy ng date o sa katotohanan ng dokumento. Ito ay maaaring magbigay ng impormasyon tungkol sa kung kailan naganap ang mga nangyari o mga taong kasangkot dito.